Okay, so I'm covering New Japan Wrestle Kingdom, their big show at the beginning of the year. It's live from the Tokyo Dome. Well, mine wasn't live from the Tokyo Dome, but it's held in the Tokyo Dome. So I'm going to try to keep these match summaries down as much as I can. Obviously, with Japanese things on YouTube, they can be kind of claim happy. I don't know. So, I mean, at worst, this maybe just gets region blocked in Japan, hopefully. But and like I said, I'll try to keep things as tight as I can, so maybe it doesn't sound like I'm so blow by blow. Now, of course, that's going to be kind of hard with some of these matches. For example, our first show match, well, technically it was a kickoff show match, but I'll just call it the first match. This is the #1 Contenders Rambo. In case you're wondering, this is like a Battle Royale Royal Rumble match, except pinfalls and submissions are allowed as well. The winner of 17 individuals gets a shot at the IWGP Championship. So yeah, right off the bat we started with Great O'Khan and then Josh Barnett. Bolton Oleg was out next, Hiroshi Kato was out next, Yuji Nagata came out, then Tag Mkabe, then Kenta, then Yoshihashi, then Yojiro Takahashi, then Toru Yano, Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, Tomoaki Hama, or they said Homa and then they said Honma at other points, so again, I apologize if I butcher some of these names. Sonata was out then next, and then Taichi, and then Tomohiro Ishii, and last was Alex Zane. At least we got an easy one to pronounce there at the end. And overall, the eliminations kind of went like this. Barnett and Oleg eliminated each other. They tumbled out over the top, tumbled out of the ring over the top rope. Kenta came in. He eliminated Nagata. Then Kenta and Takahashi worked together to eliminate Yoshihashi. Yano came in and he eliminated both Kenta and Takahashi as they tried to double team him as well. Yano then eliminated Tenzan. Somewhere along the way, Makabe got eliminated. I just can't remember if I saw it. I just don't remember. It happened pretty fast. So, sometimes, too, what would happen is they count down to the next entrant, and you start hearing music play, but then they don't, like, cut to the entryway. And so it's just, we're sitting on looking at the ring, and then we cut back. We cut to the guy entering, and then we cut back to the ring, and something has happened, and, you know, I don't know entirely what. Then Sonata eliminated Kojima. Tomohiro Ishii eliminated Honma. Sonata eliminated Taichi, his former partner in Just Five Guys. Basically, Sonata's turned on him, joined Bullet Club. Sonata's big sneaky thing is to wait till the ref is looking the other way and get a low blow with his back leg kicking. However, in this aspect, he got Taichi DQ'd by making it look like Taichi had low blowed him in front of the ref. However, Taichi didn't go without a fight and somehow eliminated Sonata. Again, if you're eliminated, you should not be allowed to eliminate people. Zayn eliminated Yano at that point. That left Okan, Ishii, Gato, and Okan eliminated Ishii is what I'm saying. And then it was Okan, Gato, Zayn. Those were the last three. Ishii was the fourth. Okan eliminated Zayn, which left Okan and Gato. Okan tried to suplex Gato out of the ring, but Gato countered that and just knocked Okan off the ring apron to become the new #1 contender for the IWGP Championship. This is Gato's first opportunity at that championship in 9 years. A very interesting Battle Royale match to start things off. I kind of liked it. It is a much like brisker Royal Rumble type match, and you have your surprise entrance. I mean, Sonata is a former IWGP champion, so you wouldn't think. And they even said, normally former champions don't come back and compete in this. They just try to work hard to get back into the championship picture. So the announcers did a very good job of explaining things to new viewers, is what I'm trying to say there. Okay, moving on to the show proper, we started off with the 4-way ladder match for the Junior Tag Team Championship, or the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. The intergalactic jet setters of Kushida and Kevin Knight, catch 2x2, that's TJP and Francisco Akira of the United Empire, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney of Bullet Club War Dogs, and then Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita. I just put their faction name, the Mighty Don't Kneel. I think they were called the Ichiban Sweet Boys, but I didn't quite say. They didn't focus on the Jumbotrons a lot during this. This is the first ever ladder match to be held at the Tokyo Dome. Right off the bat, Kevin Knight hit a frog splash through the ladder onto the members of the Mighty Don't Kneel. The War Dogs came in and sandwiched Eagles with a pair of chairs. Kushida tried to take down a ladder, took down a ladder with a handspring back elbow. They went for the Jet Setters went for their finisher, which is a neckbreaker frog splash combination, but Eagles broke that up with a 450 through a ladder. TJP hit the red mist on Eagles, and then followed that up with a death drop DDT onto a ladder bridge. Maloney managed to break up again, took a finisher, I think, but he managed to topple a ladder over in the process, catch 2x2, and the Mighty Don't Kneel. Fought on top of the ladders. Eventually, Fujita put Akira in a Dragon Sleeper, and that enabled TMDK to get the championships. Overall, fun match, very briskly paced. Again, unfortunately, it's one of those I've said over the years. I think we've kind of reached our limit to what's capable in ladder matches, and so there's nothing too spectacular to really talk about here. Like the death drop DDP from TJP was interesting, but that was kind of about it. Okay, our next matchup is the IWGP Women's Championship match. Maya Iwatani versus Azumi. Right off the bat, the story throughout this match was Azumi had gotten her first victory over Iwatani in 9 years, and now was finally trying to claim the championship that evaded her. They'd also fought for a long time in a promotion called Stardom, which is a women's only promotion, a Joshi promotion, that New Japan purchased, and then kind of, they operate separately, but also they took wrestlers from that and did their own women's division. Azumi hit a nice crossbody to the outside of the ring, and Tommy came back in a big frog splash. Azumi hit a hanging double stomp, followed by another stomp. Iwatani then came back with a big super kick. Azumi hit a destroyer, a Canadian destroyer, and then a Tiger Driver destroyer, and basically a double underhook that she flipped into a pile driver type maneuver is what I'm trying to say there. But then Iwatani came back, countered a tilt-a-whirl into a tombstone, hit a moonsault, and then her finisher, a dragon suplex for the 3 count of the victory. And I think this was a misstep. Again, if you're going to build the idea, the narrative of you're trying to win this belt for the first time in 9 years, or you're trying to beat this person for the, this is someone you have been in the shadow of for 9 years, and if you finally get that victory, then you should probably win the championship. It just kind of makes you look stupid and a little useless to not win. And I know there's probably an aspect of Japanese culture I'm not understanding in this, and we'll get to that again in a later match too. But yeah, this is another one where it's like, I think the wrong person won here. Okay, our next match was the 4-way match for the World TV Championship. The champion, Ren Narita versus El Fantasmo, Rihoi Owa, apologies if I butchered that pronunciation, and Jeff Cobb. They had to write down that Narita was the champion because they don't list them the way we do here in the States, where we put the champion on one side and then the opponent is on the other side, or opponents in this case. And so, we usually, like I said, we usually list the champion first. Well, in this case, they list the champion like third. So yeah, it was a little weird. El Phantasmo's story is he was a rising star in New Japan, and he got diagnosed with cancer and had to leave and undergo treatment. And now he is back. Narita is part of the House of Torture faction and recently cheated to defeat Jeff Cobb for the TV championship. And Oiwa is a member of TMDK. He is an up-and-comer. Everyone immediately gangs up on Narita as he tries to powder her off right at the bat. Eventually, he gets tossed out of the ring. They began fighting each other. Cobb and Oiwa attacked Phantasmo. Cobb chopped Phantasmo off the top rope. Cobb was really kind of the star of this match. He had a lot of big maneuvers. Phantasmo hit a few bits here and there. Narita came back and he had a big flying knee off the top rope on the Cobb. He tried to get his weapon out. I don't know the name of El Phantasmo's handler who accompanied him to the ring. I think it's Jado. Again, sometimes these names go by really quick and I can't quite catch them. But yeah, he prevented Narita from attacking him with a board, even though that would have been a disqualification. These matches are not no DQ like they are in the States. Cobb eventually also got the board when Narita tried to attack again, but he broke it. Cobb hit his finisher, which is it's some Filipino island, birth of islands or something of that nature. It's a big, kind of F5-esque power slam. But then El Phantasmo broke the pinfall, and he hit a springboard splash on Narita for the 3 count of the victory to win the championship. Nice story. Again, a decent match. I thought maybe Cobb was actually the better player in this. Each man did get their own starring bits in this, so I do think it was very even keel throughout most of it. I guess they decided to go with the good press in the story there with El Phantasmo. And that leads us into our next match, which is the Lumberjack Career and Hair match. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil. Tanahashi, the longtime ace, that's called your top star in New Japan. He is winding down his career. He is aiming to retire at next year's Wrestle Kingdom show, which is Wrestle Kingdom 20. However, the House of Hardcore faction, led by Evil, has been wreaking havoc. And basically the only way he could get Evil to accept any type of challenge to a match was for Tanahashi to put his career and his hair on the line. So yes, there's both of that. Obviously, House of Hardcore members are Evil's Lumberjacks, and Tanahashi has a set of good guy Lumberjacks. I don't think I recognized any of them, unfortunately. There was one, maybe, I want to say Yuji Nagata was one of them. But that, yeah, sorry. There is actually one noteworthy member of the House of Hardcore, and that is Dick Togo, who, if you are a fan of Attitude Era WWE, you would know as one of the members of Kai and Tai, like the original incarnation, where the 3 guys who ganged up and attacked Tako Michinoku, who then joined the group later on. He teamed with Funaki, Shohei was the other one, I think. They were run by Mr. Yamaguchi. Anyway, right off the bat, Evil placed a chair on Tanahashi's head and swung it kind of baseball bat style. So it swung another chair baseball bat style, so it hit the leg of the chair and basically racked up against Tanahashi's head. Evil started to grab another weapon, but this is where the Lumberjacks finally interfered. But then another member of the House of Torture attacked. Jogo hit a flying chop that was a low blow essentially to Tanahashi. Evil hit a series of lariats. Tanahashi kind of fought back. He hit his dragon suplex, his sling blade, his high five flow. He then got powder thrown in his face by Dick Togo. And then Tanahashi then... Evil went for his finisher, which is called the Dead End. But Tanahashi countered that into a small package for the 3 count of the victory. No real surprise here. I don't think they were going to... Again, they would obviously aim for next year's Wrestle Kingdom to be Tanahashi's last show. To have him lose, it would not... I mean, after he said, no, next year is going to be the last show, would not make a lick of sense. Afterwards, though, the House... But, of course, he beats Evil in a way that doesn't make the House of Hardcore look particularly weak. In fact, they hit the ring, they start clearing everyone out. However, it's then that Katsuyori Shibata comes down to Tanahashi's aid. Everyone clears out of the ring. And afterwards, Shibata says, hey, you know what, if you're not tired yet, I'd like to get you a match, you know, if you're going on your final tour. So how about one last match between us? And, you know, he said, and Tanahashi accepts. So tomorrow or to be more precise, tonight at Wrestle Dynasty, they're going to have a match. I'll be covering that when I cover Wrestle Dynasty later this week. Okay, so this is where things get a little confusing. Someone gave the wrong match order to the announcers. Because at the end of the Tanahashi match, as they're saying, okay, let's get ready for our next match, they said it was going to be the Junior Heavyweight Championship match between Duque and El Desperado, but it wasn't. Instead, it was the Never Openweight Championship match between Shingo Takagi and Konosuke Takeshita. Yes, Konosuke Takeshita of AEW. So his AEW International Championship is also on the line in this match. If you understand, if you don't know why it's called the Never Openweight Championship, it's Never stands for, I think it's New Blood, Evolution, Valiant, something, Radicalized. It's meant to be kind of a division. It's meant to be kind of a developmental division. Though there have been people, like example Shingo Takagi, who have won both the IWGP Championship and the Never Openweight Championship, but they won the IWGP, the big belt, first. So, yeah, I don't know how much the developmental aspect is adhered to anymore. Right off the bat, Takeshi hit a big jumping clothesline. He hit a pop-up DVD on the outside of the ring. Takagi hit a pop-up DVD, a Death Valley Driver on the outside of the ring. Takagi hit a big superplex. Takagi shrugged off a Saito suplex and a German suplex of his own. Takeshita came back. He hit his package driver. He had a big wheelbarrow suplex. Takagi countered a running knee with a lariat. Takagi hit his finisher, which is called Made in Japan. Takeshita hit a top rope Hurricane Rana, a running knee, and a Blue Thunder Bomb. But then Takagi came back, hit another finisher, the Last of the Dragon. But he was a little too injured to try to counter. Both men hit Poison Ranas. Eventually Takeshi hit a massive forearm strike to the back of Takagi's head. He then hit a Roaring Elbow and his Falcon Arrow finisher for the 3 count of the victory. So Konosuke Takeshita is now the AEW International Champion and the New Japan Never Openweight Champion. This was a very fun match. Very hard-hitting Haas match. I would say it was better than Takeshita's match against Powerhouse Hobbs. He also has a match tomorrow again at Wrestle Dynasty against Tomohiro Ishii. So that will be an interesting aspect to that. I have to suspect, given that he just won the championship, he would not immediately drop it. And I believe, again, both the International and the Never Openweight will be on the line again. So yeah, if Takeshita were to lose, he would lose both belts, which kind of doesn't really make sense. Anyway, we then got... I flipped the page over, I don't know why. Again, this is where... I had to write these matches down backwards. So, Yeah, we then got the Junior Heavyweight Championship match between Duque and Doki, I mean, and El Desperado. Like I said, there was an announcer goof. Desperado kind of tried to powder a little bit. Whenever Doke would try to go for a torpe or a tope con hilo to the outside, Desperado would try his best to avoid it. However, Desperado did come back and hit a torpe of his own, cracked his legs on the back of the barricade. They still have like the bike rack style barricades in New Japan, so when he hit, it really hit. But the Doke came back and began Zaguri. After a forearm shot, Desperado put on a cloverleaf briefly. They fought around a little bit. Doke then tried a flying senton to the outside of the ring, and unfortunately that's where the fun stopped. It looks like he hit like the senton, not the Jeff Hardy swanton dive. He hit the, I'm going to jump and kind of fling my back down, and so as he did, he flew and his arm hit that security gate again, and I think he dislocated his elbow. They did not show a replay. They tried to keep camera as far away as they could, but the ref stopped the match immediately, and the championship was awarded to El Desperado. He was not happy that he won it. He said, "Look, I'm not going to apologize for winning this, but you know, when Doki is better, he's getting the first opportunity," and that was kind of how it ended. You know, obviously, unpredictable aspect of the match. You know, you can't fault them for an injury happening, but yeah, that unfortunately this does have to kind of qualify as the dud match of the night. Again, it looked like it was building up to something, and then it, you know, just ended. So yeah, it didn't really work there. Okay, so now I can flip this page over. Alright, our next match is the Global Heavyweight Championship match. Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay Jr. Finlay is the champion here. Yeah, obviously, David Finlay Jr. is the son of David Finlay Sr., or Fit Finlay, or just Finlay if you remember him, so I guess that makes him a grown-up hornswoggle. Anyway, right off the bat, Tsuji hits a big forearm after being driven into the corner. Finlay came back, hit a flying shoulder, sending Tsuji into the barricade. Tsuji hit a lethal ejection and then a stomp. He has his finisher, which is Marlowe. I forget what it's called, the Marlowe strike. It's kind of a spring. It's kind of like a combination best moonsault ever double stomp. Instead of the backflip, is he goes up, he bounces up to the top rope and then twists it into a double stomp. Finlay hit a super bomb and 3 dominators. Tsuji countered a spear with a big knee strike. Finlay hit a buckle bomb and a power bomb, so he just kept kicking out. He hit the Marlowe crash. Like I said, that's that springboard double stomp I talked about. Tazari then hit, or Tsuji then hit a spear. Finlay had a rope break on it though. Finlay then countered a spear into his finisher, which is the overkill. However, Tsuji immediately got back, hit a overkill type maneuver of his own, and then hit a power bomb and a spear for the 3 count of the victory to become the new Global Heavyweight Champion. This was another really good match, really fun in telling the story. They talked about how important Finlay thinks that belt is, that he holds it above even his recently born son. So yeah, Finlay is a really good heel. He's definitely in the vein of his father in that aspect of just those really tough, Irish guy in this case. Really good fighter. And one problem is the maybe corniness of his intro, carrying the giant Gatling gun which didn't really fire. Yeah, exactly. Like, at least have some sort of like dummy explosion thing go off. Like, it's just him going, yeah. And that leads us into our next match, Tetsuya Naito versus Hiromu Takahashi. Tetsuya Naito, the leader of Los Nobles de Japan, taking on his major protege in the group. This match was supposed to take place in 2020, but the pandemic killed it, and Naito did not think Takahashi was ready until just now. early on, Naito wanted to do a salute in the Los Nobles salute, but Takahashi didn't want to do that. He did hit a nice running drop kick. He hit his one of his finishers was called the ticking time bomb, a sunset bomb off the apron. Takashi Lariat followed it with his finisher, which is time bomb 1. If he hits it again, it's time bomb 2. If he hits it again, it's straight time bomb 3. Naito hit his finisher, the Destino. He then hit an Esperante, another kind of maneuver out of it. The Destino is basically a sort of tilt-a-whirl into a death drop DDT. Takahashi hit a time bomb out of a Destino. He then hit another Destino and another time bomb. But then when Naito kicked out of that, Takahashi kind of snapped. He charged at Naito, who got him with a spine buster. He hit a Destino. He then hit another Destino for the 3 count of the victory. This is, again, I think the next misstep of the night, unfortunately. Like I said, much like the Women's Championship match, they built this up as Takahashi needs to grow up and sort of spread his wings a little bit. The idea was Naito thought he was ready for this match in 2020, but then it got scuttled. And instead of immediately giving him a rematch, he thought, no, you know what? I still think you got to hold on a little bit more. And finally, they won this tag league together, this tag team tournament, to become #1 contenders. That they're actually fighting for these championship belts tomorrow. But yeah, finally, that was enough for Naito to say, okay, I am getting to the end of my career. It's finally time that we faced each other. This will be the only time we do it. Naito, if you don't know, has macular degeneration in his right eye. That's kind of why in the main pose you always see is him doing this. It's trying to help him see out of his eye. He's had the maximum number of surgeries allowed on that eye, and so he had a procedure done on his other eye to basically try to get it to level out, and so he can at least see things even keel across the board, even if it's still blurry. So yeah, Naito's, much like Tanahashi, his career is winding down, and so it would make way more sense for Takahashi to win this. It kind of just would. There was sportsmanship at the end, but there was also kind of a bitterness to it, and I think it's obviously leading to Takahashi turning on him. So, but then again, are we ever going to get any type of rematch on this? And that's kind of where it's sort of disconnecting a little bit there. So yeah, again, if you're going to tell these types of stories, I think you have to, again, I think there might be a cultural aspect that I'm just not getting because I'm an American. But again, it just, it would have made more sense. I'm sorry, it just would have, for Takahashi to win this and not Naito. Okay, our next match is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match between Zack Sabre and Shota Umino. The backstory here is that Umino is fancying himself the next ace of New Japan. Like I said, a lot of the big stars of the last, I'd say 15 years or so, Tanahashi's retiring after this year. Naito's, I said before, is at the end of his career. Okada is in AEW now, so Nakamura's in WWE. He's also wrestling part-time for Noah, another organization in Japan. So yeah, it's like that generation is really starting to clear out, and we're supposed to be getting this new guard. And Umino kind of brazenly announced that he was intending to be this, and he has yet to truly live up to the hype, unfortunately. But his big thing is he has wins over Zack Sabre Jr., who won the G1 Climax tournament, which normally comes with a main event shot for the championship at Wrestle Kingdom. However, he said, no, I don't want to challenge at Wrestle Kingdom. We're having this matchup in England. I want that we're having this big show in the UK. I'm from the UK, so I want my match there instead, which he beat Naito and won. However, he's also very mocking in tone, again, like I said, because Umino proclaimed himself the future ace. He is, again, this is like, hey, you're stepping on toes here. it's not just Sabre, it's pretty much everyone. Sabre is the head of the TMDK, or the Mighty Don't Kneel faction. So yeah, I've talked about Sabre a couple of times as he's competed on the Forbidden Door shows that I've covered. If you've ever seen him wrestle, he is he's British. He wrestles the kind of style where it's, again, like Pete Dunne or Tyler Bate, where it's the, I'm gonna, tweak, I'm gonna break your fingers, I'm gonna wring your arm, bend your ankles. He can pull people into all these different positions, put them in these various holds of putting himself into various positions. So yeah, like Umino tried to fight out of that a lot. He actually got Sabre into a full Nelson. Whenever Sabre tried to counter out of it, he could easily snooker Sabre back into it. Sabre eventually came back. He reversed a suplex into an arm wringer. He started breaking the fingers. They got to the outside of the ring. Umino hit a DDT on the apron. However, Umino has a damaged ankle already going into this. He tweaked it, allowed Sabre to attack the ankle. Umino kept fighting back. He got out of a double arm bar. He fought out of a guillotine, hit a blazing uppercut. Both men landing a series of strikes. Umino hit a Death Rider. He tried to go for basically a super Death Rider, but his leg buckled and gave way. Sabre came back, hit a couple more maneuvers. Umino hit a couple tornado DDTs. He then did hit a super Death Rider. They began fighting back again. I think Umino went for a running knee strike. His leg finally gave way. That enabled Zack Sabre to hit two Zack drivers and Hail to the King, his two finishers for the 3 count of the victory. This was a very good match. I am obviously not shelling. It was almost an hour long, so I didn't have time to go in. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these as condensed as I possibly can. I don't know how well I've done. But yeah, it was very good. It did drag a little bit. I think, again, because of Zack Sabre's style, that can kind of happen where, it's a lot of, we're just holding you like this for, I think, he said, I can't remember what the analogy is. The British wrestler Billy Robinson said, you hold it here for, I think it was 30 seconds. If they don't fight, if they don't fight out of it, they're too content, so you got to put them in another hold to keep them on their toes. So yeah, but there's a lot of, we're going to hold this for like this. Okay, now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do it. And it's cool, but after a while, it can also get a little repetitive, especially in a 40-minute match. I wonder if they maybe could have picked up the pace on this. Again, I know it's traditional in New Japan, especially in the main event, to have these long matches. Most of the matches were actually pretty short. A lot of them were, just between 15 to 20 minutes. So again, like the first part of this show really went through like a blast, and it's like I started watching it too, and I just ended at 7:30. So yeah, this was about as long as like SummerSlam and WrestleMania used to be. But not like hugely long, not like 8 hours long where you're sitting through everything. If you just trimmed it down, so I do think they did that a lot better. Like I said, if the only thing is, I can understand Sabre winning because they are kind of trying to paint the idea of Umino is getting ready. He's learning his lesson from his brazen attitude, but there's also a little bit of, he still had a little bit of that edge to him. There was a point where Sabre was in the ropes and Umino shoved the ref. Yeah, so he could get, because he was stomping on Sabre as he was in the ropes. The ref said, hey, rope break, you have to acknowledge the rope break, and Umino just shoved the ref, continued hitting him, then tried to blind the ref so he could kick him with his other legs. So, there's a little, there was a little bit of that where, he's getting that edge that he probably needs to, instead of just trying to be a crowd pleaser. And afterwards, Sabre did say, hey, look, I know you're not an ace yet, but I will see you again. I know I will see you again. I know you're getting there. So there's kind of that acknowledge that, hey, yeah, you are there. You're getting there, but you're not there yet. So again, maybe you're building that into next year's wrestling. It's tradition too in Japan where if you come through that quickly and succeed, you don't get to succeed right away. You have to kind of earn that shot. You lose, and then maybe next time they come back through. It happened with Naito. It happened with Okada, I think. It happened with Kota Ibushi. So, yeah, there's a lot of that too. Overall, like I said, I'd say the show was great. Like I said, this isn't quite, the New Japan of, the last, I'd say 15 years or so. Bullet Club, isn't as dominant as they once were. Los Nobles de Japan isn't as dominant as they were. Chaos is all but gone. Just 5 guys is now just 4 guys. There's kind of these other factions that are popping up. United Empire is still a thing there. TMDK, like I said. So it is a transitional phase where we're trying to start to build these new stars. And you can see them starting to do that a little bit, but you also see, the old guard isn't quite gone yet, and sometimes that can create some problems. I mentioned before the Naito match, and I'll say again, that women's championship match. The wrong person won those. I think that, you need to kind of start breeding some change into there, too. And, that maybe means we don't always have to do the lose first, win story. Which, in the women's case doesn't even make sense, since, again, the whole point was she only had 1 victory over, Azumi only had 1 victory in 9 years. So it would have made sense for her to win that championship. So, that's about the one real stick in my craw problem with it. Like I said, overall, though, this was really fun. I'm going to give Wrestle Kingdom... Technically, this would be Wrestle Kingdom... They still call it Wrestle Kingdom Night 1... But, Wrestle Dynasty is considered a whole other show. So, I'm going to give Wrestle Kingdom 19 an A. Like I said, overall, really good. Couple of problems, but they were minor problems overall. Okay, so the next video is probably going to be Wrestle Dynasty, but it's going to be a couple of days. I just need time to get it done. I got a lot of other stuff to do. I finally have started watching Agatha All Along, so that will probably be up on Friday. We're obviously going to have the football picks video probably up on Thursday, or I think Agatha All Along might be up either Friday or Sunday. If the picks video is up on Friday, then Agatha All Along will be up on Sunday. I am aiming to get the Wrestle Dynasty review up on Wednesday. And I also have to start getting work on the next episode of the Random Trade Review. I did think about doing the New Japan show in San Jose, which is called Showdown in the Valley, but that's just going to be too busy a weekend for me. So, okay, we're doing one more New Japan show, and then we're probably going to be holding out until Royal Rumble in February. See you all next time. Hey guys, remember, you can help me expand my professional wrestling coverage by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions. Also, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.